Okay, if they all cash, big deal. As long as your money coming in, you never see the house, no problem, buy it. Do I deal with the transaction before? Yes. Buyer never see the property until years later. No, loan doc cannot using the wet signature. You cannot use the DocuSign. You just cannot use it. Yeah, it just it's not legal to bank. That's why sometimes we need to ask the escrow, do you accept a digital signature? I would say 90% of the escrow, they will. But if the escrow doesn't accept the digital signature, then what do? You still need to sign wet ink and scan, email it back to them. Did you ever see the escrow? I want original back. You need to mail the original escrow instruction back. Oh. Some of them, they even want PCOR, the property recording document, in original copy, not copy. Not that those copy, since it's a recording document, you just cannot use a digital signature. You have to sign it wet ink. But some of the escrow company, they do accept the copy, email copy instead of original copy. Did you ever see the? I even have a listing agent deliver. I said, don't you know how to use scanner? So he delivered all the document to our office, the original disclosure statement. You're right. And some of the agents, they refuse to learn. Okay? Some of them, they don't even know how to use an email. Well, what can I say? Obsolete. Okay? It's really hard for them to run the business more efficient. It is. Zip logic is slower. Yeah. Yeah. So that's DocuSign is a worldwide. Not only that, DocuSign have Chinese version. If you download it, if your iPhone is using Chinese or Korean, they have your native language version, so you will understand how you sign. Zip logic, English only. So that's the difference. A pay apps or free app. That's the difference. Okay. All right. I mean, certainly besides DocuSign, you still have other feature, but it just DocuSign is they were embedded into the zip form as well. If you're using other feature, I don't know, did they embed it into the zip form? So far, there's only this two. Perhaps the maybe some other so far I know it's the DocuSign might be the biggest. Why I choosing that, and our company have a group rate, so definitely cheaper. That's one thing. Second, all different language available, or any native language available. So if somebody doesn't understand English, how to sign it on the instruction, then you can still using iPhone or iPad or even computer. When I email it to them, when I email it's English. When he or she receive, it's their native language. Yeah. The signature, I mean, you could, and they give you the feature, either you created your own signature or digitally generate. But I don't think Zip Logic, they cannot allow you to sign. Can they? Oh, now they can. Okay, because I haven't used it for years. When it's come out, you just have to get a digital generator. That's about like what, 5-6 years ago. Yeah, they have to catch up. Otherwise, they are totally absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and because DocuSign is more general, I can sign everything. Yeah, this one is mainly designed for why called Zip Logic. Well, designed by Zip Form, so that's why Zip Logic. They didn't really design to signing other documents. Okay, so we'll come back on the document for Buyer's inspection advisory. So after I finish all the purchase agreement, did you guys ever read through at least once? Uh, I cannot force you, but I encourage you not just once, 20 times. Okay? Because every time you read it, you'll see something different. Ah, yeah. Put it this way, it's all the money's there. Okay? Okay, buyer's inspection advisory. Importance of property investigation. The physical condition of the land and improvement being purchased is not guaranteed by either seller or brokers. You have an affirmative duty to exercise reasonable care to protect yourself, including discovering the legal, practical, and technical implement of disclosed facts and the investigation, verification of information, the fact that you know and they are within your diligent attention and observation. A general physical inspection typically does not cover all aspects of the property nor item affecting the property that are not physically located in the property. If the professional recommended further investigation, including recommendation by a pest control of inspected inaccessible area of the property, you should contact qualified expert to conduct such additional investigation. I would say for the ZIP form or the CAR, they created the very thorough inspection advisory, whole lot better than the commercial AR form because they didn't really advise. You gotta have to by experience to tell your client to do all kinds of inspection or the investigation. But this one, what's the bottom line? It's protecting us as an agent. Why? It's because a buyer's inspection advisory only let who sign it document? Buyers. You don't have a seller signature here, do you? No. But when buyers sign, you gotta have to understand, buyer, you are responsible for it. Not only that, who is also responsible with you? Buyer's agent. So that's why the a lot of people think being a real estate agent is so easy. No. How many people really understand what's a due diligence mean? What it actually or due diligence mean? You have to actually, if you really translate it, is you have to do your best to find out and help your client do all kinds of inspection and investigation. That's your agent as a due diligence. It's your responsibility with the buyer. Sometimes you have to go to county, city, or you do all kinds of inspection. Could be general inspection. That's probably the basic one. Other than that, roof, pest, soil, mold, geologic, civil, even surveyor. Why you need survey? That's because I don't know where's my property line. Then you gotta have to hire a surveyor. Did you ever get to the property in the middle of nowhere? I show the property. The house is only 1,000, 2,000 square feet, but the land is 10 acre or 25 acre. How do you show the property with that? I drive I drive my SUV around. Oh, here's your property. Oh, do you know your property line? Do all the neighbors have the fence? No. Do you know how much it's gonna cost you if you want to fence 25 acres land? Yeah. Just like One of the Temecula, the horse property, they have about over 200 residents over there on 5,000 acres land. So what they're telling you, everybody have about 25 acres average. Smallest one probably 15. The biggest one probably 50. I mean, you by walking? Oh no. Those are you deal with the wells. They got no water to supply over there, and they ain't got no drainage either. So you need to have the septic tank because they're middle of nowhere. Some of a property like that, then you just have to know. 2, broker obligation. Broker do not have expertise in all areas and therefore cannot advise you in many items such as those listed below. If the broker give you referrals to professional broker does not guarantee their performance. See that? How many times do we refer the inspection company? Oh, I do. Most of the time. But I'm not guaranteed. Okay, here, sign it. Well, when do you sign it? Oh, when you submit the offer. I don't guarantee anything. Before even you refer them anything, I don't tell them, I don't guarantee anything, their performance. Okay? You choose whatever you want. Just like sometimes I don't really, the most likely we don't really want to butt in too much is their lender. Even I can refer, but I don't, I don't push, especially lender, because let's talk about money. It's a big money if they're financing. If anything wrong with that, or the point fee is too high. Okay, then who to blame? You. Do I make any money? No. Then what do I get blamed for if I refer you the lender? Because I got a client, got charged, boy, that's a really, really high point fee. Basically, it's, I got a really good interest rate. Well, did you ever read your point fee? 2.4%. 2.4. You basically bite down your interest rate. What's different than others? Same. Yeah. Number 3, you are strongly advised to investigate the condition of the suitability of all aspects of the property, including but not limited to the following. If you do not do so, you are acting against the advice of brokers. So if we do recommend do something, for example, do we recommend all the buyer doing the inspection? General inspection. Yes, we are. But if the buyer says, I'm the contractor, I know everything. Okay. Can you provide me a report? No, I'm not an inspector. Okay, then what do we do? Sign a waiver. That means I'm not responsible. You are against my will. I did tell you, but you don't want to do it. So that means if anything wrong with the property, you cannot even claim anything from seller, from me for Yong. Or for example, if we suggest maybe we do the second opinion for the pest control. No. Okay, sign it.
So if the buyer will not, he said, well, I will not express anything. Do we need to let him sign any paper?
Yes, waiver.
So we still need it, right?
Absolutely. Or remember, what I mentioned it before. If you're using someone else's inspection report, I mean, previous buyer or sellers provide you the inspection report. Right. You still need to sign a waiver. Why? You did not hire. So you cannot, after the inspector, if they didn't find out anything, because you didn't pay for that report. Okay? So that's the difference. And I know our company even wanted to sign the waiver if seller or buyer did not complete the pest control. That means did not complete the termite completion. We still let the buyer sign a waiver because did not complete. Well, seller do provide an inspection report, termite inspection report, but I sold assets, no termite completion. All I can do is I'll provide you a report. I'll spend a little money, provide you the report. That's it. But I'm not going to complete it. Then before the close of escrow, if you doesn't want to complete it, I have to sign a waiver. Yeah. US and 3A, general condition of a property is a system and component. Foundation, roof, condition, age, leak, useful life, plumbing, heating, air conditioning, electrical, mechanical, security, pool and spa, cracks, leaks, and operations. Other structural and non-structural system and components, fixture, building, appliances. Any personal property include in the sale and energy efficient of the property. That's when we talk about general condition of the property. Oh, thank you. I can use a second cup. Yes. 谢谢你. B. Square footage, age, and boundary. Square footage, room dimensions, lot size, age of improvement of boundary. Any numerical statement regarding this item are approximation only and have not been verified by seller and cannot be verified by brokers. Fence, hedge, wall, retaining walls and other barrier and markers do not necessarily identify true property boundary. This paragraph saved me when I got the mediation, especially after people after me on square footage, on commercial property. For some reason, I don't know why, when I provided the responding, because I'm the listing agent, when we provide a responding document, I'm using the CIR form instead of using AIR form, because the AIR form, it doesn't have this buyer's advisory, inspection advisory. So when buyers sign, I mean, you understand you have to do your own inspection. And buyer, keep on asking us. I said, well, why don't you show your appraisal report? They are financing. No, we don't. Come on. You are after me, say the square footage is not what we put on the MLS. Then show me your appraisal report. If they're way off on the appraisal report, then because the buyer doesn't believe it's a business condo, doesn't believe the square footage from the tax assessor. They don't believe from OA, owners association. They don't believe from builder, original built up, the business condo. Fairly new, built in 2007. Then what do you believe? So they can still after a listing agent. Okay, so those are, we didn't do anything wrong. We get all documents. They didn't verify. They didn't go to the county. They didn't go to the city. They didn't do anything. But since I responded using this, even a commercial property, then the attorney say, wait a minute, you sign it. You mean you understand? Well, even, we still pay the attorney fee, but we didn't really pay the damage.
One more thing.
Yeah.
I have to face people like the neighborhood boundary, okay? And then he got a bush there. Ask who belong to that? Who did use the trade tree or whatever?
Okay.
So what are we talking about? Over some of the fans, is it belong to me or belong to you?
Okay. Usually on the residential, sometimes I cannot say all the time. Sometimes we have a little nail or the dot on the curve. Did you notice that? Right on the curve. That's a property line. Okay. If right, on the street curve, if sometimes you have they drill they put the nail, and sometimes maybe you have a dot over there. And actually you see that just actually in between the fence, but sometimes the fence could be, encroachment. No. Yeah. Yeah. I know. So that's why it could be they share the tree. If it's a fruit tree, hey, share the fruits. See, I can. Okay, we'll put it this way: when something in the middle is like a fence, right? Half, share. But sometimes I have a client, their home is because a new neighbor coming in, they think the fence is too low, they build higher without the permission of a next door neighbor. Can you do that? And they say, sue me if you don't like it. Oh, okay. So he went to the city. I want to see mayors because my neighbor put on the fence higher than on my eye level or just without my permission. You guys can take a look. So because it's a block wall and they add up a vinyl wall on the top, another foot, and the city require they have to remove it.
Well,
It have to be same material, okay? Unless those are the block with the raw iron, but the block you still have a post right between the raw iron when they put it on that. So that's considered. But I mean, if you, for what I understand is when the two different material, then you really have to apply. And they didn't go to the city to apply for no, nothing is okay. Yeah, when somebody sue you, nothing is okay, and you didn't. Then the even my client, as a neighbor, said yes, yes. The issue is you don't ask permission for your neighbor. The neighbor can after you. You didn't apply for any remodeling inside the house. Oh, city come. Want to start inspecting? Wait a minute. You do the inspection, the remodeling without, yeah, without permit, right? Yeah. So don't think it's easy to deal with it. Yeah. Don't piss off your neighbors. Just like, oh, your patio is illegal. Who knows? They went on the city. You probably, when you bought the house, it's there, but you never checked is it permitted or not. When it's unpermitted, what city telling you? Demolish or remove it. Huh? A patio? Oh yeah. Oh, because you never applied. Oh, but it's not. What I bought is there. Well, whose responsibility? Buyer and buyer's agent due diligence. Did you ever check the permit? So that's why square footage, boundary, age, everything. So this is really important. Everything is only approximation only and have not been verified by seller. Cannot be verified by brokers. Which brokers? Listing brokers. Or can buyer usually buy after a buyer's agent? They cannot. It's really harder after a listing agent. Yeah, but unfortunately, last time the mediation is the buyers and buyer's broker, and I also engaged one thing. It really shut them down. It's like, look, you are the buyer's agent, and so do you are the buyer, and you never disclose on any documents, and it's like legal, code of ethic. You want me to report it to DRE? Boy, shut them down hard. Attorney said, boy, you really know how to get the people. Yeah, because the E&O insurance, the attorney also accompany with us. Yeah. Sometimes I don't really like getting the trouble bigger. It just, sometimes if I got, sued, then I just have to face it. But I really, 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 I hate it. You're wasting time. Even, we did nothing wrong. So if you can avoid any lawsuit, avoid it. And also tell your client, avoid it. It's just too much trouble and too much hassle. Okay? Mentally. Okay? It's not money. Mentally. D, soil stability. Existing in the field that compact soil expands or contract soil and susceptibility of slippage, setting or movement and adequacy of the drainage. If you get a general inspection and if they found some trouble, for example, foundation is not even. Remember this. Don't give your client any refer who to do the inspection. Because I heard a case before. The buyer's agent referred the buyer to hire the civil engineer. They thought it's a structure issue. Civil engineer come over. Nothing wrong with the house. Then what happened? It's a soil. Then who end up paying for the damage? Buyer's agent and the inspection fee. Because the buyer, well, you make me hire the different people, and I starting doing this, doing that, and you're gonna have to pay all the damage because it's wrong. Soil has a problem. Structure doesn't have a problem. Okay, so don't give it any information. All we do is general inspection, and that's it. Anything else? You ask the inspector, not me, agent. Okay, and who should I hire? Uh, Unless you say, okay, did you ever see the inspection report say black substance looks like mold? The inspector, they didn't even determine that's mold. The black substance in the, it could be kitchen area or underneath the sink, or they did not determine that's a mold. Did you ever see the report? No. They only see a black substance looks like mold. They're protecting themselves too. Then what do? If you are if a buyer concerned, then hire the mold inspector. But I mean, obviously, you can. I mean, kind of smell it in some of the older house. When you open the door, you can smell the mold. Okay. Mhm. Water utility well system and component waste disposal. Water and utility available use restriction and cost water quality, adequacy, condition, and performance of well system and component. The type, size, adequacy, capacity, and condition of a sewer and septic system and components. Connection to sewer and applicable fees. So those are, you can tell them and say, people will say, who is a water company? Who's a utilities company? Okay. Then certainly they have to hook up by themselves, or even what's a cable company, whatever the system may be. Environmental hazard, potential environmental hazard, including but not limited to asbestos, lead-based paint, and other lead contamination, radar, methane, other gas, fuel, oil, chemical storage tank, contamination soil and water hazardous waste disposal site, electromagnetic field, nuclear source, and other substance, material, products, or condition, including mold, airborne, toxic, or otherwise, fungus, and similar contaminants. Mold considered as part of a contamination. One time I got the client want to check with the electromagnetic field. Oh, first time I say, James, can you help me? I can try. Uh, that's an Edison company stuff. Then who to call? The Edison company. So I found out it's free. I think, yeah, it's free. They come out. If you have those house, do have an electro pole on the top, or you have electro box in the front yard. Well, 不用高压电, we know electromagnetic. Yeah, okay, we can hear that. Okay, we don't really have to measure. We can just by ear. I can hear it. Sometimes, when I play some of a golf course, they have electromagnetic, the high voltage tower. And I can hear that. Okay. Or when I do the line dance on the Pathfinder and the Fullerton, okay, see that the Roland Community Center, they're right under. During the break time, I enjoy the electromagnetic sound. Okay, see if I can be a Hawks, getting bigger. Right? I can get a green giant getting bigger. So, I mean, you can hear it, but sometimes, it's just like the small one with just the electric pole, just a regular home um, electric cable behind. Some of the older house, they have that. And some people, if they really do concern, especially they have a transformer on the electric pole, okay, I'm not going to stop them. If they are so concerned on the property, and definitely I will not force them to buy Just like if some people have asthma and they feel more secure, you don't stop them to do the more inspection. Who pay for it? Buyers. And I know even sellers say, huh? Electromagnetic field test? I say, well, I guess we have to learn something new every day. It's still first time to me. Now I have experience. I know what's going on. Okay. And when they give me the report, I didn't see much different. Okay. I give it a buyer and that's it. Okay. Is that really affecting? I don't know. Ask the Edison company. I'm not the expert. Is it over average? Obviously, you got a transformer. But is it going to be uh, affecting our human body? Who knows? I don't know. Yeah. They say, well, 你要电箱还是要 you want the electricity box or electric pole? Same thing. One is underground or on the air. Do you know what we use the most and really affecting a lot? Microwave. How come nobody complaining? Microwave had the most electromagnetic, affecting. See, that's why, on the inspector now they are actually check see if any leak on the radiation coming out from the microwave. How come nobody complaining that? Oh, I don't use a microwave at my home. Yeah, so. But still, a lot of people are still using it. Whatever you eat, it's not healthy anyway. It's like you use the radiation. You put it in. What's the difference? Yeah, people may rejecting, something, for remember, in Asia and in Japan, last time they have the radiation leak, on their power plant. Oh, I cannot eat those fish. I cannot eat those. Well, if you guys are using the microwave at home, you actually eat all the radiation every day anyway. And what's the other biggest radiation? Do we use every day? We cook our brain every day. Yeah. What's different? So, I mean, sometimes I don't understand. Some people are so naive, okay? Cell phone, that's the power plant. Radiation damage to your brain. Yeah.
很多 condo 里面
啊
排油烟机都没有排油烟口。
Yes.
那是对的吗？
Yes. Okay.
Why?
Okay. When we put on the listing, we always we talk about the hood. A lot of a condo or even townhouse doesn't have a outside ventilation.
Right.
That's only circulating hood. Why you need circulating hood? Oh, I just put the steam so above me. Okay, so when I cook, so I can see clearly. Especially people wear glasses. Okay. Yeah. So what do? Oh, I steam. But the issue is, a typical Asian, we like to get deep fried.
Right.
And deep fried got, it's like more smoke, it's oily. Then you're circulating, your ceiling get oil. Sometimes, what you see, the cabinet, the kitchen cabinet on the top, especially above the, yeah. Oh, it's so sticky. Okay, you store something, will stick out of the cabinet. It's so sticky. Okay.
So that can be the cup holder.
Well, no.
No, right?
You didn't hear from me. If you do it quietly, without the HOA notice it, okay? Been there, done that. I know. And keep your mouth shut. And make sure you're using something to cover. What cover? Some of the covers just like that. The vent, like the dryer. Dryer vent is like, okay, when the air blow out, the vent will open. When it's not, it close. And make sure paint it at the same color on the exterior, like a stucco, if you have a condo. Everything can be done. It's just money. First of all, you don't drill the hole to the roof. That's big no-no, especially when you have a condo without a vent. What really I did it before is you go through on the side. And which side? The side people cannot see it. Sometimes the condo they have an angle. It just people didn't really notice or cannot see it. Or it's inside your maybe your balcony. Find somewhere. Okay? It's only money. It can be done. But I know it is illegal? No. Yeah. But that's why especially when I show the property, if you know around this area good enough, you know which community has the vent or which community they don't have a vent on the townhouse. For example, Countrywood, on the Hacienda High, they all have a vent going out. But if you go on the Hacienda Pine, none of them. Believe me, somebody opened it illegally out of 268 units. They got a few. Okay, some people even very creative to install a washer dryer combo into the dishwasher area. Oh, did you see that? Yes, very costly for the whole unit. They usually happen in the brand, either the Korean brand or the Japanese brand. They have that. Cost $2,000-$3,000 a piece. Oh, you got a drainage on the dishwasher, right? But how about vent? Okay, you gotta have to, the vent has to come out. So you put the vent somewhere. And so actually, when they dry the clothes, is the air coming out. Maybe close the window or something. You gotta have to figure it out. I've seen that people install that. I said, smart. You don't use a dishwasher, but because those condo or apartment style, you use a coin laundry. But some people doesn't like to wash the clothes with others, so they install their own. Is that legal? No. If HOA found out, they tell you remove it. Okay. Yeah. So if somebody creative to adding another shower and a half bath, or split a bathroom into two, is that legal? No. So anything on a condo townhouse, sometimes it can be very creative. When I see those property, it's fun, but none of them is illegal. Earthquake and flood. Susceptibility of the property to earthquake, seismic hazard, and propensity of the property to flood. Now we have the flood disclosure. The added it, not on the. Hello, James. Hey, Simon. All right, how are you doing? Yes. fed up with the BLA. They are so well, depending on the loan agent. Some of the loan agents are pretty good. They're on top of everything, and some of them they're so politics. They just figure, yeah, you're missing this, you're missing. Why did you tell me everything at once? And we're gonna have to scan this, scan that, ready to sign a loan doc, and what I end up with is still not complete. Amazing. So that's why they're like us, agent, all the standards different. Some is lousy, some is pretty good. Yeah. Okay, we'll continue. If we cannot sign a loan doc today, we'll sign it tomorrow. Sooner or later, we'll close it anyway. Since the seller have to wait for us, most of the seller. Okay, yeah.
比如说你说今天 close， 结果没 close 成，前面没有说过晚一天要罚100块，他可以在这个时候加吗？
那你要那个 allow 才可以的，现在没有 allow 不行。
可是他月份没有符合这个话，到你最后你 close 不了的时候，他就说 OK， 如果你 close 不了的话，那我一天要罚。
Okay, you gotta have to serve demand to close first. You gotta have to give the people a chance. And demand to close, you get 3 days. 3 days. You just cannot just like, can you give the cancellation right away? No. You just have to serve first. You gotta have to issue it. If they cannot close on time, you gotta issue a demand to close. Demand to close. Okay. Those documents, and that's you cannot serve any 3 days prior to actual closing day. Okay. So before the closing day, okay, what is estimated closing day? 3 days before that. So that's why we are under extremely high pressure every time, every day. Yeah. Actually, we have more pressure than the loan agent. Loan agent, they probably get weekend off. We don't. They can sit in the office, enjoy the air conditioning. We don't. Okay.
If you cannot close on time, that seller can be canceled.
They gotta have to serve 3 days.
Oh, gotta have the 3 days.
You gotta have
if
to
after 3 days,
demand to close. Yes, seller can cancel. You got
cancel.
Yes. Huh? That's right. That's why demand to close. Yes. Yes. And usually within a week or delay a couple of days, nobody say anything, really. But you know what? The loan agent, they're really bad. It's like, that's it. Well, that's our best we can do. Now who's gonna be blamed? Agent, buyer's agent, or listing agent, whatever maybe. Because the buyer can blame us, or maybe seller can blame us as listing agent.
Okay. For that loan is the better way is we suggest the buyer use us or let the buyer he go to find it.
That's why I tell you, you have. It is though, because when on my experience, when the buyer chooses their own lender, have more trouble.
Yes.
Because those loan officer doesn't know my style, and they can be delayed. And not only that, you know what? The loan officer, they are so lazy. What I can tell most of them, when you say closing date 45 days later or 60 days later, they'll wait at the last minute and still need an extension. It's still delayed for a couple of days. But if I put 30 days, they still fulfill. It's still delayed for a couple of days. Why? You don't whip them. They won't close sooner. But whoever actually worked with me before, they know. Okay? I whip them over the weekend. Okay? And I have their cell phone number. So they will do whatever they need to do without I'm calling them. Otherwise,
So better we use us.
well, use somebody work with me before. They know my style, and I want to keep it everything on time, on time, on time. Nobody like delay. Do you when you catch a plane or catch a train? Do you want delay? No. It will screw up the whole schedule.
Yeah.
Especially when the escort delayed to close, it delayed my money. That's even worse. Isn't it? Yeah. Okay, if you don't care, I do. I do care of my money. So when it's delayed, it's not good. Especially, I tell you that. I hate to delay, but sometimes it may happen. Just like, when I come here late, I feel sorry. But if especially you're on a listing appointment or or you're meeting a buyer, you rather be there. When you are on time, you considerably you're late. When you are on time, you're late. Not late. But when you say, if you set up say 9 o'clock appointment, you're there 9 o'clock. You're late. You should be there at least 15 minutes earlier. And relax, settle. See if you dress up, everything is ready. Take a deep breath. Okay? So that means you're ready to fight. It's not like, I'm late. 9 o'clock, open the door. Oh, I forgot this, I forgot that. Where's all the documents? It happened. Especially when you're seeing a seller. You don't want to ring the doorbell too soon. Maybe they're still taking shower at 8:45. You're at 9 o'clock appointment in the morning. Don't ring the doorbell. Hey, I'm here at 8:45. Ding dong. No. I'd rather, stay in the car, nose around. Okay? Yeah. And have to be early. Calm down myself. Okay? And review, all the maybe the CMR report. If this is a totally stranger, the listing, the lead, you coming in, then you gotta have to prepare yourself, and you are just slap your face and say, "Oh boy, I'm ready to fight." Wait until 9 o'clock. Ring the doorbell, and that's what we learned. When seller opened the door, my name is James. This is with the Remax 2000. I'm here on time to meet with you. Why I said mention that? First impression, you're a responsible person. Okay? When you're late at a listing appointment, that's pretty bad. Very, very, very bad. Because what sellers think you are too busy, they may not give the business to you. Especially, did you ever bring your cell phone when you do the listing presentation? One thing I can suggest you, I leave my cell phone in the car. Who? Why? We have a coworker lost a listing because he just bring the cell phone, just half second, take a peek, and lost the listing. And the seller said, "Well, you're too busy. Oh, I have too many phone calls. You're too busy because you didn't give the seller undivided attention." That's the strategy. When you give it an undivided, do I have to mention that? Yes, I will. They say 9 o'clock. Now I give it an undivided attention. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Sometimes, especially Caucasian, you mentioned they do appreciate. But I know the typical Asian, oh, why you mention that? I say, well, I just tell them I do respect their time. So what they're telling you, when I'm busy, please do respect my time. Some of the Asian, they will still call you like 11 o'clock at night. Oh, no way. Unless it's emergency. Then you can text me first. I'll call you back. So just, that's just a personal experience share with you. I may be late for, some appointment, but listing appointment, Don't be late. And especially buyer's appointment. Did you ever see the buyer be there early? Yeah. And your buyer go with the other buyer's agent. I had that before because I was there early. My buyer's there early, and the other buyer want to show that property. Then, can I go with you since my agent haven't show up yet? Oh yeah, right. Okay, yeah. Then, and what happened after showing? May I have your business card? Well, even to finish up the previewing the property view, and your agent haven't show up yet. Oh, that's bad. Um, okay. Even they didn't ask the business card. I would just, here's my business card since you already look at the property. Any question? If your agent, can I help? Here's my business card. Okay. So
Yeah, I think you're right because I one day I see the one on the owner only. People want to see that building, but had to see that house, but the agent didn't bring his business card.
Oh,
he's unhappy.
Oh, very.
Yeah.
Don't forget to bring your business card. What's a slogan for American Express card? Cannot leave home without it. Okay? You cannot leave home without it, your business card. So you better stash somewhere. In your car, my backpack. Yeah, I always keep some stash of a business card everywhere. Just in case. It's not I forgot to bring it. And just run out. I put about 10 business cards here. But sometimes you keep on showing, I'm running out because I got the next appointment. Where do I get refuel? I have to put into my backpack or on my car. Right? Make sure you can, you got enough business card. Business card is cheap. Right?
And then also is one experience is I go to open house, and then that owner really complained about he said last agent showing the open house, but didn't close his back door. Very bad. So should be pay attention, complain law.
Yeah, some of agent they complain a lot, especially when you show the property. If you have an animal, if they tell you don't let some animal out, okay, be careful. You don't want to chasing the animal if they really got out. Okay, it's gonna be pretty bad. I have the coworker is like, oh boy, spending an hour chasing the animal. Well, because the cat getting out or dog getting, so you be careful if don't, if they have a pet inside the house, tell your clients stay outside first. You kind of go, you open it up with the just a gap, get inside way. Okay, make sure the animal is not around the doorway. Then you open the door halfway, let the buyers coming in, not wide open. Make sure the pets are somewhere you are visually seeing it. And if you could, when you're signing a listing agreement, make friends with their pets. Okay? So they will know it's you. We'll get too excited and just run out. Okay? J, rental property restriction. Some cities and county impose a restriction and limit to amount of a rent that can be changed, the maximum number of the occupants, and the right of a landlord and terminate a tenancy. Deadbolt or other locks and security system for doors, windows, including window bars, should be examined to determine whether they are satisfy legal requirement. Like what? What legal requirement? The iron roll bar and the gate, for the security gate or the windows, it has to be the bedroom has to have a release. But a lot of Asian they didn't install that. It's because it costs more. But did you ever thought about when the fire break out? You just lock yourself in. You get cooked. So you have to get out, especially bedroom. And not only that, appraiser, when they do the appraisal, they have to examine the window bar that has a release. Otherwise, bank will not fund the loan. So when you get those listing, you are let the seller know ahead of time. If they are so cheap, you just tell them, okay, the best way to do it, just remove all the window bar when you sell the property and patch the hole. Don't let the buyer see it. Then you're legal, yeah. Because when you are emergency, you can break the glass, but I cannot break the window bar. Yeah. Security and safety. State and local law may require the installation of the barrier. Access alarm, self-latch, mechanic and or other measurement and decrease the risk of a children and other person of existing swimming pool and hot tubs, and as well as various fire safety, other measurement and concerning other feature of the property. Okay, so those are, you gotta have to find out. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Right.
For the home security,
Yes.
I see the home have the home system,
Mm-hmm.
but it won't work. So when we purchase the house, can we ask the seller say build that back or the current or what?
Well, you could, but most likely home security system, you tell the buyer, if you're smart enough, tell your buyer, whatever the left existing home security is always obsolete. Why you use the old one? You want to hook it up, you pay the same monitoring fee, use an old system, and most of a alarm company, they would actually give you the newer technology, newer equipment, if you sign in a contract with them 2 or 3 years for free. Then why should I have to use the old one, the wired one? I'd rather use the wireless one. Because the old system, it cannot be that much. And just like, if you get a surveillance camera, do you think the resolution so good? No. Yeah, some you can even see the face. Then what's the resolution for? What is surveillance camera for? Yeah, some of the surveillance camera not even worse than the one on the doorbell, the Ring, right? Okay, Ring is pretty clear. All right, and they even get a high definition lens on that. And your surveillance cameras, you're totally outdated. Who's coming? I don't know. Yeah.
像这些 camera 什么的，如果 buyer 它不属于就是正常的传单证之类给我的，那 buyer 还要要求 inspector 去查吗？
That's okay. Inspector is not responsible to check on any surveillance camera because that's.
那 buyer 就说了，如果这个东西我不要的话，那 seller 去拆掉。可是 seller 通常不会去拆，因为那个线走的都是有很多洞洞嘛。
Yeah.
所以这就是一个矛盾。
That's a fixture. When I attach to it, just like the satellite dish, I have to leave it for you, whether you like it or not. Buyer, you remove it yourself.
Oh, okay.
It's a fixture.
So that matter to work or won't work, right?
Yeah.
那还有就是那种净水器，就好像那种美净净水器，然后呢，如果不好用，到底怎么？
It's also a fixture. Did you connect it with the pipe on the water softener? Yes.
Yeah, right.
So it's a fixture.
So that's
But if you want to remove it, if the seller want to remove it, the water softener, you better disclose it. Yeah, you got to better disclose it on the contract. Otherwise, that's considered a fixture. No, that's if I'm the listing agent, hey, assets present condition. I can refuse a repair, right? Can you? Just like when you submit a request for repair, so the seller has the right to reject it. Absolutely.
like a chandelier, okay? In
Uh-huh.
that big house, he got a crystal, real nice.
Uh huh.
Beautiful.
Uh huh.
And then later you do that, he changes to the regular.
You have to say so, otherwise the buyer can after the seller.
Say so, right?
Seller has to be disclosed on the contract or counter offer. Okay, the chandelier is not included. Even you already mentioned to MLS, and doesn't mean you don't need to repeat again. You need to, because MLS only disclose. But on the purchase agreement, buyer seller need to sign. When the sign signature, if you don't mention or your counter offer, if you don't mention again, the chandelier is not included. What's that telling you? It's a fixture. Seller, too bad. Yes. Yes. So all the fixture, including in the house, it should be passed on to the client. Yeah. Sometime, one time I got the client remove the mirror, the bathroom mirrors. Yeah. Uh-huh.
只有那个盖子是加上去的。在那儿走的时候就把智能马桶做的那个盖子拿走了，换上了一个盖子。buyer 就
哦，当然不行啊。You okay? What's that consider?
这是个 personal 的，这个盖子就是个 personal。
No.
也是 fixture。
Did you got two bolts attached to the toilet?
对，就是这样。
Okay, and the toilet mounted to the house.
所以理论上讲是应该留下。
It's a fixture.
谁会用人家做过的？
I know. You don't want to say someone is a burden like that. You got a butt warmer? Okay.
buyer 不开心说：“哦，智能马桶拿走了，现在有一个普通的。”
You go.
盖子的问题。
Yeah.
Well, if you put some, we say the Lotus.
That's a cheaper one. Yeah.
So that can be moved or no? No, cannot. Right? Okay, that belongs to fixture.
Yeah, because you attach to the toilet the bolt, right? Okay. It's not like you put it on. No. Something. Put it this way. Sometimes the rule of thumb is like, for example, you have the picture frame. Okay. You can remove the picture. Can you remove the nail? No. The nail is actually attached to the wall, and that's considered what? Fixture, technically. Just like, when we go through the purchase agreement, we got what? Bracket? Okay, those are because the purchase agreement mentioned that. So the TV bracket, TV, they can remove it. Suppose TV considered as a fixture attached to the bracket, right? If they don't mention, because we have argued that before. So that's why the purchase agreement, they revise, they say, TV, the flat screen TV, you can remove it, but the bracket has to stay. Why? Well, it's because bracket is directly attached to that. But they didn't see the toilet seats, right? Unfortunately, the purchase agreement. See, that's why it's the same situation. TV on the bracket on the wall. Same thing. Your toilet seat, okay? You remove it, or toilet seats on the toilets bolted on the floor. Same situation. But unfortunately, our contract didn't say so. If the buyer is so concerned about the toilet seat, put it on the purchase agreement. What is included? Okay? So. No. Because you attach. Yeah, I know. Why? Because the curtain is hanging. That's considered one piece. I know technically the rod you cannot remove, right? Okay, but the curtain hang on the rod. It should stay. All right, because part of it, I know it's not directly attached to it, but indirectly attached to it. I know it's really hard to determine, but usually you tell the seller, say, well, look, why you want to take away? If you want to take away anything, make sure you write it down. You tell me now. When we accept the purchase agreement, we need to counter what we need to take it out, especially fruit tree, typically Chinese. Okay, you like the fruit tree in the backyard? That is actually they planted in the ground. That's a fixture. You cannot take those fruit tree away. If you put a pot, yes. Then before you do it, put into the pot. And then you can still stay there. But when you're going out, you can remove the pot. We just try to reduce, for the aggravation, later. That's it. Neighborhood, area, subdivision, condition, and personal factors. Neighborhood or area condition, including the school, law enforcement, crime statistics, register, felon, and offender. fire protection, other government service, availability, adequacy, and cost of internet connection and other technology service and installation, commercial, industrial, agriculture activity, existing and proposed transportation, construction, and development that may affect noise, view, traffic, airport noise, noise and odor from any source, wild, domestic animal, other nuisance hazard, um, circumstance, protected species, wetland property, botanical disease, historic and other governmental protection sites or improvements, cemetery facility, condition and common area and common interest subdivision, possible lack of compliance with any government document, homeowner association requirement, condition influence or significant to certain culture and or religion, personal needs, requirement, and preference of buyer. So that means they cover a lot of stuff because everybody have all different uh, preference. But if you do have any concern, it's not really covered on this area. For example, I have the people want me to submit a addendum. So they say, well, we have to test the cell phone signal in the house, see if it's strong enough. When the time we don't have a Wi-Fi enable feature. Well, now we can resolve those issues. If you have a wireless router, you turn on the Wi-Fi enable feature on your cell phone. So when you're home in a back signal area, especially like maybe on the hills, it can still work because they go through your internet instead of your cell phone service. Okay, so that's a really good thing is because when I'm in a foreign country, as long as I got uh, the signal on the Wi-Fi, even I turn on my airplane mode while my Wi-Fi is also on when I have the internet signal. My phone will ring when you call. When someone calls, my phone will still ring as normal. And it's very clear. I don't feel any delay on the conversation. The people doesn't know I'm in the outside the country and the other side have the other side of the earth. So those are just like what we are noise, odor. You better disclose. If I say I'm selling the property in Ontario, what do you do? Well, if you can passing by, sometime. Well, yeah, it's pretty far from the airport or anything. If you have an airport route, it's actually close enough. You can hear it. You better disclose it because can be a noise. If way above there, that's fine. I live in Diamond Bar. Well, yeah, I can see the plane passing by, but I cannot hear anything. That's okay. The only thing I can hear is when I experience the fighter jet. Boom. Oh, yeah. I say, I can hear the engine sound, but I cannot see the plane. They're too tall, but their engine sounds way louder than commercial liner. Yeah. And those are just once in a while. You don't really. Or if you have a small airport, not to have to doesn't be the commercial like Pomona or Chino. Close to those are private plane or El Monte. Just say so. That's it. By signing below, buyer acknowledge that they have understand, accept, have received a copy of advisory. Buyer is encouraged to read it carefully. So actually, this form, who to protect? Us, bottom line, as agent. All right. So we try to minimize the lawsuit. Any question? Okay. I know this one, everybody, just sign it. Actually, they cover a lot. So you tell buyer by signing this, you have to do a lot of inspection, everything. Yeah. Okay. So we finish all the purchase. Then we do it on multiple counter. What do I give you any copy before? Do I have it, give you the counter or what do I do? Multiple counter? No? Yes? Maybe? No? Okay. Let me go ahead, I'll print it out all the counter so you guys can see it. I'll print it out like the seller multiple counter. Uh, do I do? Okay, I may have to add it on two form. Seller single counter and the buyer's counter. So at least you guys can see it. Let me just add the form. Add the form. Do I? I know, yeah. How many people do you need a copy? One? Okay, two? Yeah, yeah, yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I'll print a 6 copy. Okay. Let me say adding form. It's not responding. Right. Let me just read that first. Okay. Document. Select form to click next. Let me allow the next form. Select form. Okay, I get a summary. Okay. The CO. Let me get the back first. This is the front. Back number 1. Seller counter number 1. Okay. This one, counter. Same person. Anyway, forget it. Let me print the whole thing here. No, it's right in the form document. Contingency removal. Special repair. Inspection waiver. Condition. Visual inspection. Responding. Seller. Seller instruction included. 453. Responding fire special. See if this has it. Hello, Christina. This is James Chow, Green X 2000. I just want to make sure you receive the last document, the copy from the June. I know you are watching for the long talk, so just want to make sure you receive it. We actually do this with you about 11 o'clock this morning. So if you haven't, please give me a call back. I don't mind. 225 I'm 68. I don't mind. 225 if you want to take it. About 11:40 Thursday morning, November 1st. Right now. Thank you. Bye bye. 没有，这有前面有6张，有6张啊。我来看，我来给你。好，你需要吗？
我先看一下我齐不齐。你先看。这个没有。
不需要。
他们俩都没有。后面两个。我这前面3张我有，后面3张没有。
哦，没关系 ，OK。
我这是你的。
对。这你看没举手要吗？
没关系，要的话可以那个。
他不是那一张，他后面2张没有。
刚给你那个是seller property 那个 OK。Let's do it on the seller counter offer. Let's start with the multiple counter. That means when you receive more than one offer, then you can use a seller multiple counter. If somebody just calling you and say, I'm planning to submit the offer without seeing the offer coming in, don't use it. Oh, then that's a form I gotta have to add it now. Withdraw offer. That is something you guys never use it. Add doc. Withdraw offer. WO. Withdraw offer. Okay. This is something, you guys have to, if you are, print. If you give it a single counter and suddenly you receive another offer coming in, you have to change it to multiple counter and you gotta have to withdraw. Okay. WOO, withdraw offer. 6 copy. How many copy? This one, I guess everybody. I'll put an 8 copy. Yeah. This is everybody because you guys probably never using it before. Okay. All right. Starting the multiple counter. Forget about whatever the content, what I wrote inside, but I just have to let you know the what you actually put it. Mainly it's a sort of, you gotta, when you have the more than one, then another thing is that when you do the counter, when you receive 2 offer, and if you just want to counter 1, which counter, seller counter you need to use. You receive 2 offer or 3 offer. You say, okay, that's for example, if you receive 3 offer, but seller just want to counter 1. Which offer you are using it? No. I know that's a lot of them falling the trap on that. And I learned from the hard way through the board. When you only counter 1, seller just want to counter 1 buyer, you gotta using single counter, even you receive more than 2 offers. If you really want to use a multiple counter, that means you have to counter at least 2 buyer. You're using this form. Doesn't matter how many offers you're receiving, but you have to counter at least 2 or more. Then you can use this form. That makes sense? At the same time. Or it may not be the same time. Sometimes you just like you receive it. No, you cannot. Pretty much you just say, well, consecutive. Well, basically you have the seller sign at the same time. It is counted at the same time. If you want to delay, counter the other one, you just want to send out a 1 counter, single counter. Because if you do receive a 3 offer and you just counter and the buyer accepted, and the other 2, they challenge you. You lied to me. It is a multiple offer. But how many offers do you counter? 1. And which form you use? Multiple counter offer. What's a multiple mean? What's a multiple offer? I say, no. What's this supposed to be? Multiple counter. Okay? So certainly our office, we do have those situations before, so we got fined $500.
The buyer doesn't know that will be multiple counter or not, right?
Buyer?
Yeah.
Buyer doesn't know.
So that's the seller, he give you the multiple counter.
Yeah, but when you get to the mediation, show me all the paperwork. Haha. Not only that, the mediation has a different mediation, but you got extra fine when you break the rule. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's what the form you use right now. Okay, we'll pass it on. This is a form you guys have to use legally. Withdraw, offer.
If we receive the one each time, we still use the single, right?
Okay, doesn't matter how many offer you receive. It's a matter of how many offer, how many counter you are doing it. If you're doing twice, two of them, you can use a multiple counter, but you only just do one.
In the same time or different time? That's what I mean.
Same time.
Okay.
Same time. Different time? No. Different time you have to use single. Just like you say, seller just want to counter this one first before you counter the other and see if what's their response. Then what's that telling you? Single counter. When seller sign a signature, only sign one page, okay, one counter. That has to be the single counter. That's fine. You want to counter the second one? Then that's the form you just use. I just give it to you. Withdraw counter right away. And you see the option, what they give it to you? On the bottom. Replace it on the multiple counter. Sell a multiple counter. Offer right away. See the difference? Yeah. But 99% of the agent didn't use this. So when we're in trouble, uh-oh. When we get audit, uh-oh.
That means if today we sign one vote, but after 2 days we see another one, I want to cancel, withdraw, use this phone, withdraw the first one. Is that right?
Yes. Okay. And I learned from the hard way. Even I learned from the instruction from yes.
我怎么取消掉？
你就马上给 you give the seller multiple you switch. See the withdraw offer. See what's the option here? The 2C. Okay, you check the 2C. Okay, replaced by multiple counter offer. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, then you're okay. You're legal. But if the buyer's signing your single counter back before you send out this, too late. Okay, 成交了。Okay.
所以我们假如送这个 result 过去，要他回来给我们说收到吗？
Yeah.
需要嘛，对不对？
Okay, put it this way. Okay, the way I do it, when if you want to replace a multiple counter, you withdraw offer and sell a multiple counter at the same time. Email it to the buyer's agent, and you email it, then you notify them. Don't notify them and email. When you notify them, they sign it right away. Before you email, oh, too late. Email them first and call them after an hour later. Okay. Oh, have you received it? You know, the withdraw single counter. You know, we changed to multiple counter at this an hour ago. Okay. Or better yet, if the seller decide not to sell the property, okay, then which I hate, then you need to withdraw the counter or even withdraw the offer. Okay. Withdraw. But it's a withdraw offer can be used by the buyer agent? Yes. I want to withdraw my original buyer's counter. I replace a second new buyer's counter. Can you do that? Sure. So withdraw offer, not just withdraw counter. Why they call withdraw offer is because you can even withdraw the purchase. So for example, buyer is that I don't want to buy this property anymore as a courtesy. I say, you call it this thing, My buyer doesn't want to, buy anymore, so just disregard my purchase agreement. Yeah, you can do that. But look at the form. Legally, you check withdraw a purchase. On the 2C. Or 2C, that's withdraw multiple counter. For A, yeah, withdraw revocation. Okay, and buyers, yeah. Yeah, you revoke, for the purchase agreement, you can do that. Or even oral withdraw, revoke on date and time. So you have to put it in. So it depends on your situation. So that's why you got a buyer signature, you go by the buyer, sign it, or seller sign it. Depend who issued this withdrawal. Yeah. So that's why there's a withdrawal offer. So this one is like issued or whatever the date, and you can just issue it and withdraw. We'll go through that, after, let me go through the counter. So just give you the head start. Okay, number one, the terms and the condition of the above reference document are accepted and subject to the following, especially reference of inclusion of the paragraph 1C and this another counter offer. So whatever is stay, so you don't need to mention it again. Unless otherwise, that's why, I hate to see the people say, yeah, so assets condition. Why you repeated paragraph 11? Well, because they never read the purchase agreement. They thought when they put on repeating the paragraph 11 and they say, so assets condition, can you still get the request for repair? Yes. You cannot stop the buyer's right. Even you say no repair, no term of completion. Can you still submit the request for repair? Yes. That's a buyer's right, consumer right, put it this way. Well, if I were you, I would counter both. Even that one is, I use it as a bait because legally, yeah, I counter both. But mainly I focus on the second one. I didn't focus on the first one. I don't care. I've counted both first. Well, okay, that's fine. But I mean, if you get a seller multiple counter, I say, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. I email you first. Why I do that? Because I want to get, maybe when the second coming in, you may have a third one or fourth one. But if I don't counter the first one, for the second buyer, I can only use a single counter. Okay, that's a different strategy. Some of them is a fake one, but I still need a counter. What do you think? I counted 5 here. What do you think I got? Seller multiple counter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are number 1. Seller multiple counter number 1. But I mean, why I market it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Because all different buyer at different time. Because when I issue the seller multiple counter and that haven't expired yet, and the other offer coming in, and I have to issue it again, and that's multiple counter. Because I already I already got 2, I counter, but when I got third and fourth coming in automatically, because they have 3 days, and the next day they're coming in, what do I get? Seller multiple counter, because you're still within the counting period, 3 days. 3 days, 3 days, same thing. Same thing, 3 days. I will cover that. 1B, unless otherwise, agree in writing, down payment and loan amount will be adjusted in the same portion as the original offer. So we got 20% down, then you got to come up with 20%. If the price change higher, then the buyers agree, for example, then your proportion still 20-80, for example, 20%. So then your down payment may increase, and so do your loan amount. So let's go by proportion. And escrow officers, they will figure it out. So it's not going to be the same as you offer. Say, oh, I want to, unless you say, I just want to finance a certain amount, whatever the difference is, I come out with a down payment. Well, you better mention that. Okay, you issue the addendum or maybe the buyer's counter, or at least let the seller know. Otherwise, they will figure it out by proportion. C, whatever the term and condition they are now agreed, you put it on everything here. Or anything you need to disclose, or anything is not included. Anything is different than from the purchase agreement, you put it right here. But if your counter offer is not enough space to counter, what do? The following attached addenda are incorporated into the multiple counter addenda number 1. Because addenda, you got more line to write. Okay, but be careful. When you counter too many items, what are you telling buyers? Oh, this seller is hard to deal with. Forget about it. Let's move on to the next property. So, unless it's a bank owned, if you are the listing agent for the bank owned property, because the bank, they will require, for their, more requirement. Usually they have their own form. You can just attach to it, or you can say, instead of I repeat the addenda, and I can mark, for the REO addendum, okay, or supplement, or guideline, whatever they call. Then you do whatever just a regular counter. Instead of if you counted a page and pages and just scare the people away. I know some of the listing agent they want to play the hero in front of a seller. Well, yeah, they probably would. Paragraph 2, binding effect. Seller making the multiple counter offer of other prospective buyer on terms that may or may not be the same as in this multiple counter offer. This multiple counter offer does not bind seller and buyer unless all of the following occur in the time specified below. Seller signed in paragraph 5, buyer signed in paragraph 7. Then seller signed in paragraph 8. Then buyer received a copy of a multiple counter offer with all the signature. So you gotta have 5, 7, and 8. 3 signature has to be on considered valid binding agreement. That's why they make it multiple. So seller gotta sign twice though. Did you ever see the some of the listing agents? They're so stupid they tell the seller sign both together. Seller says just, oh, this is my name, so I signed it. If you seller signing both multiple counter together, what's that telling a buyer's agent? Boy, this property is mine. You lost the multiple counters privilege. It's become a single counter because the seller, you signed both. You're supposed to get a sequence. Paragraph 5, 7, then 8. You go by the sequence. And I do receive those multiple counter. The seller, sign both at the same time. And I email it to me. I say, oh, great. And being a buyer's agent, if the listing agent make a mistake, don't be volunteer. Okay? I say, okay. So that's why as long as you know the sequence, you know the form, actually, you advantage on this transaction. But buyer has to receive it. Without buyer receiving and to see the paragraph number 8 signed by the seller, buyer doesn't know you're accepting their offer. So at the time, you got to make sure they are receiving. Paragraph 3, expiration of a seller. Oh, I'll leave it, on the next Tuesday. 12 o'clock already. Okay, so we'll continue on the paragraph number 3, and so to the other counter. Okay. Having fun so far? Okay, that's good. Thank you. Thank you for coming.